Our next speaker is Fredrik Berntsel. Fredrik's kicking off our first kind of in-depth session, and we're really looking at how consumers are embracing technology and social media. So what we're going to be talking about is how the world is becoming more social and also more mobile, and how brands are going to be able to take advantage of this. Now, Fredrik's going to be focusing very much on the social web and the future for brand advertising, and particularly offering some inspiration in what you can do with all the data that is now generated by the media across digital channels.
My name is Fredrik Berntsel, and I'm the sales director for LinkedIn in Europe, Middle East and Africa for all of the countries where we have a partner that represents LinkedIn. I'm going to talk today a little bit about the data that we have and how you can use that creatively in your campaigns. The first thing I'm going to talk about is amplification. The thing with the business connections and the network and how you can use that in a campaign is obviously that if a person interacts with something that you put in front of them, if they engages with whatever message you have, then that engagement can spread virally throughout the network. So it becomes sort of rings on the water. And just to give you an idea of what it might look like, if you have a campaign that initially reaches 30,000 people, that's your target audience, and they on average would have 100 connections, then your potential reach for this campaign, the amplification, would be that you could reach 3 million people. You won't, because not everybody will interact with your messaging, but you could. So you amplify the campaign on LinkedIn. Now, another thing that you might want to think about is to use data about the members in the campaign itself. We have a lot of data again, and one of the sort of sets of information we have is what the users actually do on LinkedIn. From this graph, what you see here is where are people spending time on LinkedIn, which pages are they visiting. And you can see that sometimes people have the perception that LinkedIn is more of a sort of a job site, but only around 10% of the visitors go to the job section. So most people go to look at profiles, go to the inbox, go to the home page, or search for people. Okay, using data in the campaign itself. We can also use data for insights. So obviously one thing that you want to do when you have all this information is to turn it into insights. Try to understand better your audience or the campaign results or whatever. Again, some things that we know of LinkedIn, we know that the C-suite, so the high-end executives are frequent users of LinkedIn. This is a survey called Business Elite, where it showed us that LinkedIn is actually, in this particular audience, the most visited site on a daily basis out of a lot of big business-to-business news sites. Another sort of insight around campaigns on LinkedIn, that you can get around campaigns on LinkedIn, is who actually did what and who interacted with your campaign. So obviously sometimes we would like to have a finer measurement of the CTRs and the clicks that we like. Who actually saw my campaign, who saw my ads, who clicked on them. And because we have the membership data, and because we know, our members are logged on to the site when they see the marketing, so we know who actually saw and who exactly clicked on everything that's run on the site. Finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about turning data into trust. So we heard it before today as well, the owned, paid, and earned. And the earned piece, we all know who work with marketing that the most valuable and most effective form of marketing is word-of-mouth marketing. Recommendations from people that you trust. So that's highly valuable to us. We want to have that if we can. What we find is that when people use their social media more frequently, it's one of the starting points on the internet where you go to check out your network and what's happened and what's not. You also use LinkedIn as a starting point to sort of search further, look for more information. So our members actually search for a lot of information within LinkedIn. And because of that, it becomes important. It becomes important so we see more and more interest from companies to actually create a presence on LinkedIn, to present your company and your products and your solutions, what you can do for your clients on LinkedIn, because it's one of those places where people actually look for information today. That was what I wanted to share with you as some inspiration of what you can do on a social media today, thanks to the data that we have. Okay, thank you.